Alright, so this is just a walkthrough of the Magnus rig. Alright, so first of all, this is the his main hip control. Alright, so I can move his upper body around with this control. By default, his arms are in IK mode, so that's why the hands stay locked in place. Alright, so with IK mode, you can move the arms around with the wrist control here. Alright, and this control here controls where the elbow points to. Alright, we have a secondary hip control here, right, where you can move the hips independently of the upper body. Alright, so you have translate and rotate on there, and you can see, right, there's a bit of squash and stretch automatic with the torso. Feet controls, right, you can move them, they're in IK mode by default, inverse kinematics. Right, you can move, rotate. There's a heel ball rule, alright, good for the making the character walk. Toe roll, independent toe, up down. This one is shoulder shrug control, right, so you can rotate or translate. Alright, the finger controls are just FK controls by default. Alright, one important thing is the mesh is still selectable, so just to use it before you start animating, just select the mesh, click this one to put it on a new layer, and just click twice and reference the mesh there, right? So just selecting NURBS curves controls, right? So if I just drag and select all these controls here, I can rotate them together like that. Alright, I can rotate them one by one individually to get whatever pose you want with the hands. Alright, we have neck control here. So we see if I rotate the upper body, right, the head sort of stays level. Alright, if I want the head to follow the neck, right, there's a neck follow control. If I set that to 1, then if I rotate the neck, it's gonna follow the head. If I rotate the torso, right, anything below, right, it's gonna follow all the way down the hierarchy, right? By default, it's off. As the head control, you can rotate the head. This is a additional rotation halfway of the head for cartoony moves. And this top one here is a IK control. You can move up and down for some squash and stretch on the head, right? Alright, so you can switch between IK and FK with these plus buttons here. Alright, so there's one attribute here. When it's set to 0, it's in IK mode. And if I set it to 1, it's in FK mode, right? So it's just these regular FK controls. Right, and you can blend in between, back and forth, Alright, between your IK and your FK controls. Alright, same thing on the legs. Alright, the legs can be in FK mode as well. Alright, so one other thing, let's say you're posing out your character. Actually, let me demonstrate with another pose here. Where you can actually see that I have some of these bend controls switched on, right? So by default, right, this is the shape I would have gotten with this character, right? These controls are switched off by default, right? They're actually located on this main cog control. So it's these attributes here, arm bend controls, leg bend controls, right? By default they will be off, so you can just switch them on, right, for the arms and the legs. Alright, and you can just use these to add a little bit more bend in the legs, right? So, you know, can give your poses a bit more appeal, right? Not have everything so straight. Alright, so you can use these to add a bit more appeal to your poses. Alright, so yeah, that's about it for the controls. Of course, this main control below is just to move and scale the entire character within the scene, right? So this one is just to place the character initially before you start to pose the character or animate the character, but otherwise you don't really use this main control. Right? Okay. Not sure if I pointed out these other controls in the spine, but yeah, this middle one is more of a FK control, rotation. You can do some translation with it as well, and this one is more of an IK control, up and down, and you can rotate as well with this one as well. Alright, cool.